ladies and gentlemen. Shit.
I'm hurting.
That was an experience.
I'm hurting because of my sides from laughing at that movie.
That was a funny movie.
I would easily say it's by far the best. Like
the best drunk review movie we've done.
I would actually recommend this.
Like if you liked Troll 2, you'd probably like Skin Deep. Like it's better.
As corny. It's not as corny as maybe Troll 2. Or it was a better movie than Troll 2.
Yeah.
It was better.
Okay, so this movie came out in 2004, supposedly. But it had the aesthetics of probably 1985. Maybe
early 90s.
Early 90s.
Like the camera work and just clothing.
Just the style. There was a Super Nintendo in there at one point.
The kid was freaking out about it.
It looked really old. Like it looked like it'd probably been in production hell for like 20 years. Okay, so this movie, I honestly didn't expect it. Like this family's traveling across the country. They blow out a tire and they stop at a gas station. The old lady at the gas station, who was poorly overdubbed, like they didn't use her actual voice. It was just like her lips would move, but it looked like she was like Mr. Ed, just licking at the top of the roof of her mouth.
It's some points it's like Japanese movie level dubbing. It's just like
the dubbing was really bad on her.
She obviously was not speaking English.
But she said, "Go to my house. You can use my phone there." So the guy goes and he gets his family and they go to the house where the lady is waiting for them somehow.
Teleport.
Yeah. So she takes him into the house. They go. She's like, "Oh, let's have dinner." So they sit down and they have dinner, and they just have like cardboard cutouts with like just raw meat sitting on it, and they're serving it. And like the daughter's like, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian," which I mean,
I would be more worried about why are you serving me guts from an animal, obviously, on a piece of cardboard.
Straight out guts.
It's literally a piece of cardboard with guts on it and served to them. Yeah. And the house they're in is just the creepiest house in the world. According to you, it's the third
creepiest house I've seen.
If you see this movie, and you see how creepy this house is, you have to keep in mind
I've seen creepier. I live in creepier houses. So the old lady from the gas station introduces them to her family. Mm-hmm. There's Surgeon General, who at first you think is an old guy. He just has this face of an old guy. But then at one point he tears off the face, and you see it's just like this reptilian skin with like a bear trap jaw. And there's plates, the Warwick Davis, and then they introduce us to Brain, who at first you see him and he's just wearing this big burlap sack. At first you're like, what the hell is up with like this burlap sack? Later they introduce under that burlap sack is this big giant brain. That's all it is just a big exposed brain.
And I love it's like must be such like a weird prosthetic. Like
he can't move. He can't move.
He moved like really stiff. And, like,
he never does this.
Yeah, you'll never see him do this. Let me see it that way. You'll never see him move his neck. Like maybe realistically, a guy might be stuck like that, but you can obviously tell just because it's the prop.
Okay, so then immediately they kill off the mother and father.
Oh yeah, so, they just get right into the murder.
right in
the murder.
Middle of dinner. The son and the daughter run off. They go into the woods and they kill. Okay, the killing of the son was actually the best part.
It was hilarious.
The guy, Surgeon General, he uses like this Klingon blade, and
a cool knife.
The Surgeon General just goes like this, and the kid is like, "Oh, you missed me," and then he just splits in half.
Okay, that's the movie. Like this I was thinking like this is gonna be an absurd movie because like he does this weird motion, and I figured the kids would haha you missed me, and his head would fall off.
Yeah, something like that. But he splits in half. His entire body.
He pulls a slither and cuts a guy just straight in half.
You missed.
Okay, so then Brain is begging the old lady, keep the girl, I want the girl, I want to keep the girl, don't kill her, let me keep her. He's just begging. So then they keep her, and they put her in, like, the creepiest room. Like, the room is just covered floor to ceiling in newspaper.
Newspaper mache, like, it's
it's just completely covered.
You gotta see the movie, like you said, the surrealism in this movie is
this movie is really good for its insane surrealism.
Like the environment and stuff.
Like it's obviously a B movie. The acting is really bad.
The acting is horrible.
But
it makes it.
The tone, the atmosphere, just the camera work, it's all very surreal and very creepy.
This was like kind of like a Rob Zombie. Like if Rob Zombie made him his very first movie or something.
If you gave this guy like an actual budget, gave him a bunch of actors that could actually act, he could have made a really good movie.
He could make pretty good movie.
Like he could actually make a decent, scary, creepy movie. It's just the fact that he had really bad actors and a really low budget.
Here's a question: would you think this Skin Deep would work if it had a bigger budget and was a little bit more serious?
No. And then a group of elderly bikers, like 70-year-old bikers, come in.
Forgot about these
and
guys.
they're just sitting around having coffee or whatever, and all of them leave except one. This girl,
because he wants to hit on the old lady.
Yeah, he was very infatuated with the old lady. So this girl, she gets out and she goes to the old guy and she's like, "Help me! You know, these people are murderers." So the guy's like, "Oh no, they aren't murderers, whatever." And then
sweet old lady.
And then Surgeon General comes out and kills him somehow. It doesn't even show how they kill him. He just kind of dies.
The old people come back.
Yeah, they come back and they find his jacket covered in blood.
Because
I mean, they are bikers, so he has a leather jacket, but it's covered in blood. So
then
they're like, "Oh, this means war."
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes passes.
Then there's a long time without the old people in there. But in the date scene, I guess, Brain
takes her to
takes her out to a park on a motorcycle. She's not restrained or anything. It's just they're out in public. She can just get up and run, And obviously that dude's Brain. He ain't running really fast. Okay, now we're... Okay, it gets kind of blurry.
Brain decides to marry her. They throw her in a wedding dress.
Oh, he has to attack those hillbillies.
Yeah, they put her... About that. So they have this truck where they put her on the front of the truck.
It's a towing truck.
They're driving out, and they find these fat rednecks that are driving along. They were...
Just drinking and driving.
The John Candy twins, I call them. They were driving along.
It was us in the future. We gained 300 pounds.
They get attacked by the bad guys, and the Surgeon General just kind of comes out and kills them one by one. Like, he jumps off the bad guy's truck onto the hillbilly's truck and just kills them one by one.
And then Plates throws some CG plates.
The problem with Plates was that he could have been a really cool character, but they just didn't give him anything to do.
If they made his plates deadly, he would have been a much better
he just didn't do anything.
It was just like
he threw plates at
he just
people
he just hammed it up. He danced around a couple of times like a meth head.
Yeah. Yep.
Then finally the old biker gang comes back. The lady from the gas station comes out and she takes out these little peace sign stickers.
Gold,
and she just goes up to them and she sticks them on their forehead. And they're like, "Okay," and she walks away. And basically one by one they explode.
Yeah, like they're really like detonated devices. Surgeon General's off to the side, like flipping switches.
One guy pulls it off and he goes, and his hand explodes.
And that's when his friend's heart explodes.
Yeah,
like it literally
CG. It goes into his chest and it shows his heart exploding with a fireball.
Fire explosion. It's like, okay, maybe
that's what a heart attack does. It explodes your heart. So then it explodes the other two guys. One guy's like, for 5 minutes while it explodes.
And they're yelling at Joe, "Take it off, take it off." He's like, "No," while everyone's moving like normal speed.
So by that time, there's only two people left, the old lady and Shaky. Plates comes out, and Shaky's like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna..." And he takes off his shirt and he starts chasing around Plates.
Yeah, he has this shirtless old guy.
Like, scrawny as hell.
Yeah, chasing this midget around in like a cactus desert, like a cactus garden.
And the whole time, Plates is throwing plates at this old guy, and then he just attacks Plates, because Plates doesn't have anything left. So he's just sitting there going, "Pow! Pow! Pow! Pow!" Like, just smashing him in the face. And finally, he grabs Plate's head and tears it off. This like 80-year-old man just tears off a human head.
The best part was after he tears off his head, he's just like, he's just shirtless. He's just letting it drip all over. He's like "Ah!" So then we see the creator. Okay. Supposed to be like the boss of all these guys.
He created all the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, all of them, he apparently spewed them out of his stomach or something. Like, they weren't real people. They were created by this guy. He's like a one man. He's like literally like a headless bodybuilder guy. Like the worst shaped bodybuilder you could ever think of. Like he was buff, but he was also fat.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there just going, "Yeah,
look at my awesome
body. Yeah, fuck it."
The movie French Yeah, she goes to the cops.
Oh yeah, she goes to the cops.
And the cops are in on it too.
Yeah, so she turns. She's telling the cops like, "I need help. My family's dead. They killed them all." And the cops like, "Oh well, we'll get help for you." And she turns and she's this giant mortuary.
This is weird. You just walk into a police station
and there's a giant mortuary.
It's a reception desk. The mortuary.
And then she sees all these pictures that the secretary's holding of her dead family, like them dismembered and completely destroyed.
They had to be there to take those pictures and stuff.
So then he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll help you," and then she's like, "No!"
And I was joking. I was like, "What? The movie's gonna end with her just yelling no,"
and then it ends. If you like bad movies, this is actually a very enjoyable film.
This is, yeah.
It's very surreal. It's very trippy and very strange. If you can get over the bad acting, it's a very strange, surreal movie.
But the bad acting is what helps make the movie good because it's just
it detracts a little bit from the surrealism.
Yeah,
it's kind of almost like an art film, just like the scenery, the camera work.
Usually, anything in the house was pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty trippy. It was pretty strange. Like if they had done this serious and straight face, like it would have been a very strange, creepy movie. So, Mike, how much did you say you would enjoy it?
I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I'd probably give it a good solid 8. I'd give it 8. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'd watch this movie again dead sober.
I'd have to say I would give it an 8, just for the fact that it's an entertaining B movie. Like I said, if you enjoyed Troll 2, you would enjoy this movie. Like, it's better than Troll 2, but it's enjoyable in the same vein.
Yeah.
And if you just like really weird, trippy movies, it's very interesting to watch.
Like the first 40 minutes is a good.
It's very strange. So for how well it was made, how much would you give it?
It was a cheap movie. And for a cheap movie, it did make it really, the atmosphere was really creepy, which I give it big props for.
Yeah.
I maybe give it 7.
For how well it was made?
Yeah.
Is that on a scale of movies or B movies?
I like B movies.
Okay.
And the movie itself, it's gonna be like a 2. But
honestly, just for how well it was made, I'd probably give it about a 4.
Yeah.
Because parts of it looked really cool, but it also seemed very cheap. Like, it was supposed to be made in 2004, but it also looked like it was made in 1994.
But something as simple as the paper-maché room.
Yeah.
That's creepy. And it's cheap. I mean, no matter how you do it, it's going to be...
But then you can't get over the fact that the acting was awful. There's two sides to how well this movie is made. Some parts, whoever made the sets did a really good job.
Yeah.
The sets were good.
Yeah.
The acting and everything else were pretty awful. So I'd say to split it in half, I'd give it about a 4 or a 5.
That's fair.
But the outside, it made me think of Ed Wood movies, kind of, just like the way they filmed outside movies. Because one point, it would look like it was high noon. The next, it would look like it was 6 in the afternoon. Then the next, it would look like it was 2 in the afternoon, and it just kept going back and forth between, dusk and high noon. And that's kind of, I noticed that stuff, because I'm kind of used to looking for that.
Yeah.
So it's just, the continuity kind of aggravates me. That's the problem with filming outside, is the continuity is really hard to capture, because you gotta
go throughout the day.
Yeah.
Maybe go back and do shots and
stuff. Yeah, it's tough.
I always noticed it was every camera angle seemed like a shot from with a different camera, because the quality would seem sometimes it looked like a movie, pretty good. Then sometimes it just looked really bad for what it was.
Yeah.
If it was a shaky camera, I understand it was bad. If it was meant for action and stuff, but it was just all of a sudden the camera's changing, it's really bad looking, and it's okay.
Not even from scene to scene, but from just shot to
just
shot,
the different camera setups,
switching between two people talking to each other.
Yeah, so it's obviously they're using 2 different models of camera.
Yeah. So anyways, I would recommend this movie to anybody who likes B movies, because it's very enjoyable actually.
If you don't like B movies, if you just want a movie to laugh to, this movie is so ridiculous. I think it could just be a comedy.
Yeah. Well, so just to finish this off, top this off. Skinned Deep. It's the best movie we've seen for drunk reviews. That's a pretty high acclamation for them.
But is it really that high to say you're the best movie compared to...
The bar is set really low.
Yeah,
this sets the bar. The bar is here. The bar is now here.
Yeah. I liked it. I'm probably not gonna watch it again by myself for any reason.
No.
But
if I wanted to show somebody just a stupid movie, I could show them Skin Deep.
Yeah, it's or if they just want to see a crazy... If I know they're a big horror fan, you say, hey, you want to see a really bad horror film? Because they'll just see it as a bad horror film.
Or if they've seen, Leprechaun or something.
Yeah,
it's he was in another bad movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for watching Drunk Reviews. We are Dinosaurs. Please like this video, comment on what movie you'd like us to see next, because we really we would like suggestions on what to watch next.
Suggestions are nice.
Subscribe to our channel, because the more feedback we get, the more we're going to make these videos.
Oh, yeah.
So just, like us, tell us that you are enjoying what we're doing, and we'll make more of them.
Give me all your money.
More often.
More money.
The more you do that, the more we'll get famous on YouTube, and the more we can make money off of getting drunk and watching awful movies.
Just give me your money directly. It's a lot easier.